Good morning, campers. Let's do a reading. We're gonna start from tarot, tapping into how is this collective feeling. I'm feeling a little heavy, a little slow, so let's see. How is this collective feeling? How is this collective feeling? What's going on with this collective? How are you guys feeling? They're not flying, so maybe you don't really know, fully understand. How are you feeling? What's going on? We have two of voices, confusion. Confusion, crossroads. Confusion, crossroads. So maybe you're in a moment of your life when you know that you have to take a decision, that you know you have to take a step forward, that you know that there's something that you have to do. But you don't really know what decision to take. You don't really know what road to take. I'm hearing that there are certain things you're blinded to, so maybe that's what we're going to do today. Let's see what comes forth. 10, Wheel of Fortune, number 10. Maybe you're seeing a lot of 10s. 10, we have number 2 and number 10, so 2nd of the 10th, 10th of the 2nd. Maybe that's relevant. I'm hearing someone's birthday, child's birthday, maybe for some of you. I feel like you're on a destined crossroad, and you would feel that. It's like the decision you're going to take, it's important. And I always say this to you guys, every decision we take is important, right? Even the little everyday decisions. Everyday decisions connect us to a specific timeline in the quantum field, and every decision matters. But some decisions are those really, really big sort of timeline jumps, right, that will really decide. And some, we constantly jump in between timelines. We constantly take these decisions. I'm hearing this cannot be revoked. So maybe it's a decision that you feel that once it's taken, there's going to be no turning back. What else? We have 9 of emotions. Let me do 2 more. To have your first row, we have the Devil. 1 more. We have 3 of Inspirations. Okay. There's definitely happiness involved here. So it's a decision that will have huge impact on your happiness. I don't feel this collective, to be honest. You're quite happy right now at this moment of time. There is something that is standing in between you and your fulfillment. So the current setting, whether that's wherever you are in life, right? It's like you're not completely happy. And you see that there's a way forward. You see that there's a choice that you could take to liberate yourself from that situation, to change your situation. But I'm hearing that it will require a lot of change. So it does activate a little bit of that devil energy, that fear energy. I'm literally seeing like the devil on someone's shoulder constantly, like, are you really ready? Are you ready? There's also something here around independence. So maybe if you know that if you would take one of these decisions, you would need to stand very strong in your independence, on your 2 feet, be there for yourself. And there's fear. There's definitely fear. There's definitely insecurities as well. I'm hearing shadows of insecurities being activated. I am hearing for this collective that this is the easy choice and this is the right choice. So it would be an important choice in your life. The easy choice, it's always the ones that pushes us sort of behind our shadows. But you have 3 of Inspirations as well. But I'm not seeing this, to be honest, as a movement just yet. I don't think fully you have taken that decision just yet, whether you know it or not, that there are still certain things that you have to figure out. But I'm seeing this more, especially in this deck, as this domino effect. So it's like, you know that the moment you will take that decision and the moment you will say it out loud, there will be no turning back. There will be no turning back. There will be no taking it back, you know, because certain things cannot be unsaid. Certain things cannot be undone, right? Even if you want to take it back, it will never go back to the same situation. So it's this, those important moments in life, those important situations in life. And it's coming to my mind as well that things cannot be unsaid. So maybe it's important, and it's true that words are spells. Words are very powerful. This is why sometimes I say to you guys, if you're doubtful in yourself, in your decisions, stand in front of a mirror and say it out loud. This is what I want. Help me, universe. This is who I want. Help me, universe. This is the life that I want. This is who I want to become, right? So it's really powerful. But it's also, it's important to remember that words are important, and we should speak our mind. We should speak from our heart. We should speak our truth. But we should also be mindful of what we're saying, because it is true that sometimes you say something in a specific way and this will never be taken back. It won't be able to be forgotten. Do you know what I mean? Okay, let's get more details on what is this decision about. 9 of Materials. Freedom, independence. This is a card of of independence. This is a card of making it on your own. I'm hearing a single mom as well. So maybe you are a mom. Maybe this decision, I was hearing, I don't want to, like immediately go towards a specific thing, but I am hearing a relationship. I am hearing this is a decision about leaving or staying. So maybe you are in a situation that you already know that this relationship is not happy. It's not bringing you happiness. It's not bringing you fulfillment. You're feeling trapped. You're feeling stuck. Maybe you've already realized that the only thing that is stopping you from taking this decision is fear, right? And many times, maybe some of you do have children and you think about those children, and it's a very difficult decision. But I say this to you guys, especially if you come on sessions, these are difficult decisions to take, and there are certain things we have to have in consideration. So these decisions, in reality, if you think about this, I always say we have to take the right decision, but we also have the right to decide. We have free will. We don't necessarily have to walk towards that fulfillment, towards that highest timeline. Sometimes we make sacrifices for certain things. Sometimes we are bound too strongly by our shadows. But when we talk about these kind of situations, that you're in a relationship with someone, and let's say there are other people that will suffer in this situation, you feel that they will suffer, right? Be it your partner, or be it children. For a very long time, we use excuses not to leave. Many women, especially when there is a very, very unhappy situation, there's no fulfillment. Sometimes there's even cheating, lack of loyalty, abuse. They keep saying that they're staying for the children, and it's going to be a very brutal truth that I'm about to say to you guys. But you know me, this is my life's purpose, to say to you things that you know deep down. It's an excuse. Because you will never convince me that a father, even if that person is a good father, who is a horrible husband, is a good father. It's impossible. It's impossible. If a man is not respectful towards his partner, loyal towards his partner, is abusive, whether that's physically or mentally or verbally, again, it's dismissive, it's not faithful, it cannot be a good father. The fact that he will be financial provider for the family and sometimes take the kid, out to the playground, and if it's older, spend some time on a trip. He's not giving he's creating a father wound. And you, by staying, which is absolutely your choice. Situations, I always say this to you guys, when you come on in comments and say to me in videos like that, oh, it's not that easy. No one said it would be easy. This is why it's your choice. The path of alignment is a difficult path, is a challenging path. It's a prize, right? You don't just get it because you wish for it. You have to take difficult decisions. You have to embark on a journey of solitude. But I feel like you are coming to this moment of realization that this is an excuse, right? I feel like you still are not sure what you're going to do, but I feel like you're realizing that whatever you've been saying to yourself that you cannot leave, it has been an excuse. Whether that's financial security or children or years spent together, people use many excuses. And whatever excuse you have, you can leave it in the comments. I will break it all down for you to really prove to you that it's an excuse rooted in fear and rooted in shadow. Sometimes things are meant to happen. Yes, it's true. But staying in a relationship that is not happy, it will not create a happy childhood for a child. All it's going to create is a father wound and a mother wound. Because I always say this to you guys, true divine feminine, she's fierce, she loves herself, she puts in a boundary. True divine feminine, and only a mother who is in her divinity doesn't create a mother wound, is a mother that is leading with love and compassion, but also with strength and boundaries and self-love. She doesn't accept to be dismissed, to be disrespected, to be treated as a doormat, to be cheated on. She doesn't allow that behavior. She walks away. But it is a hard decision. Hermit. I feel this is your energy right now. I'm sensing there is something in this collective that is changing. There's something that is transforming. You're starting to stand up for yourself. There's a reason. Everything in the reading happens for a reason. Everything that I'm hearing it from your guides. I'm sensing it from your energy, right? This is why I always say to you guys, don't go into comments or don't send me messages saying, no, yes, this resonates, but this doesn't. If it doesn't resonate, it means it's not your reading. Many people go through similar situations, right? So if it's truly your collective, you would not jump in my comments to say, but it's not so easy, because you already know. You know it's not going to be easy. And maybe you will cave to the easy decision. But you already know that this is going to be either a sacrifice or it's going to be coming from a place of I don't want it, it's too difficult, and it's fine, it's your decision. But at this point, you would be out of denial. You would see the truth. You know that these are excuses. You know exactly what decision is right and what decision is easy. I feel you are in deep reflection right now, that you are trying to go a little bit inward, seek for these answers, seek for support as well, whoever you pray to. I feel like you're trying to figure out what is really destined, was it meant to be, right? So maybe you're someone who believes in that destiny, and I feel like there is no... When we're in denial, when we look for excuses, it's egoistic. We're trying to put the blame on other people, right? So when we stand in a place of ego, we, for whatever reason, because it's difficult, because it's hard, because it's challenging, we don't want to take that decision because we don't want to, because we're fearful. And then we blame it on, oh, because we have kids. Excuses. But you, this collective, you are already in a place where you're not in your ego. So you're thinking about someone else. So even if some of you do have kids, and or someone dependent on you, even be it that person, that spouse, maybe I'm hearing that it may be a situation that that this person is not going to be completely okay after that breakup. I don't know, I'm hearing some sort of a disease or disorder. Whatever that is, this collective, whatever excuse you're using, you're not using it as an excuse not to leave. but you're considering sacrifice in a sense that you're thinking maybe it was destined. Maybe this life wasn't for me to be happy, to be fulfilled, but to stay for this person, to stay for my kids, whatever that is. And it's a difficult thing, you guys, because sometimes, you know, it is true, my universal truth, that we all have highest, most abundant timeline. We all have the capacity to break through and walk towards that path and towards that timeline. However, some of us, we're not yet on that lifetime. We're not yet ready. It requires strength of a soul, wisdom of a soul, maturity of a soul to break free. This is why we live so many lifetimes. And sometimes we live a life that will be, until the very end, a life of sacrifice. However, that being said, I want you to know, and I want you to realize always, that happiness is always accessible, always, to everyone. Because no matter what situation you're at and you feel that you're going to stay in the situation and there's a sacrifice needed, happiness is something that we alchemize within. And I don't care what anyone says. This is why when you guys come to me on sessions, we establish what we're going to work on. And with some of you, I know that it was really for you to get to that timeline. And I'm going to push you, and you know this. But for some of you, I sense that your timeline was acceptance. So I'm going to teach you to alchemize, to accept the situation that you're at, right? I feel like you are breaking free. I feel like you are breaking free. I don't know why I'm hearing breaking free from tyranny. Maybe it's not going to be, you know, that brutal for some of you, but for some of you, you really may be with a partner that is very controlling, that is very, not the nicest energy. We can do a spread. I'm going to think about it. Do we need that for this person's energy? But I'm already sensing not the nicest energy, to be honest. It's someone who bounds you. It's someone who takes away your freedom. It's someone who, I mean, I always say this to you guys. Truly, you have to understand that no one can ever take away our freedom. No one. No one. Not even when they grab us and lock us in a basement. It's the freedom of our spirit that matters. And if we don't let them, they can never take it away. You are breaking free. You're wanting to be happy. Five of emotions. There is a bit of I'm hearing pessimism within you. So you're probably considering all the possible scenarios in your mind, and you're thinking that you're going to take the hard choice. You're not seeing a positive way forward. You're seeing problems, you're seeing issues, you're seeing, right? But you guys, show me one person who got out of a relationship, even if it wasn't so brutal and so bad, and let's just say like few years of a relationship or partnership or marriage that just things didn't work out. As we move away, it's always difficult. We're creatures egoistically, so the ego body, the physical body, from the physical plane of existence, we're a creature of habits. Every change is an adjustment, especially people who are not awakened. They don't understand the importance of challenging emotions, so they fight with these emotions instead of using them to learn lessons. So as we go through this change, it's always challenging and it's uncomfortable, right? But it doesn't necessarily need to be bad. It can mean growth, it can mean change, it can mean period of transformation that will lead me to something better. Shedding skin is not comfortable for the snake. Transforming into a butterfly, it's not comfortable for the caterpillar. I always say this to you guys. We have this, it came in reverse. You know that I don't do reversals, but I was hearing clearly reverse for that. I'm hearing distorted masculine with this. There is a lack of happiness as well to this collective, but I'm hearing that you are a little bit afraid of how this person's going to react. It's like maybe it's someone that you think, I don't know, I'm hearing you're not going to walk away from me. Maybe you're foreseeing or sensing, or you already know this person enough to know that they're vindictive, that they're not going to make it easy for you, that they're not going to allow you to walk away. I don't know why I'm also hearing that you would need to walk away in silence. So maybe that's what you're considering, you know, that not actually informing this person, but just like packing your bags, taking the child, taking a decision, and then, you know, leaving a letter or post it. Obviously, it wouldn't be like escaping and abandoning and ghosting, because I feel like this collective, it's like you're open to, you know, have a conversation with this person, and you're open to you know, have a dialogue, and obviously, especially if you do have kids, things would need to be resolved. But I am hearing that it's like you're afraid to really face this you realize that you're not yet in your full strength, right? So you're afraid to face this person. So if you would like, I'm leaving, and then start packing your bag, maybe this person would like try to convince you in a good way, in a bad way, or yelling or begging, or maybe even physically stop you, right? It can be different. It's a collective. I'm hearing many things. So it's like you feel that the best solution is just like, as they're out of the house, I'm going to pack my bags, I'm going to leave, and then we can have that dialogue once the decision is made. I'm going to do a few more. I keep having good cards at the bottom of the deck, so I feel like, you know, Chariot, forward movement. We have cards of movement here, you guys. We have Three of Inspiration. We have Seven of Chariot. I feel like you are reaching a breaking point. We're going to do guidance. Eight of Voices. Yeah, there's something that you're not seeing. I feel you're blinded by fear. I feel you don't realize how strong you are. One more. Again, Ace of Wands. I do feel there's a cycle closing for this collective. We have the World, we have the Wheel. There's something destined being at play. You're receiving signs. You're maybe being guided. Your guides are with you. Maybe they're trying to guide you. Maybe they're trying to give you courage. Maybe they're trying to give you strength to take that decision. But I am hearing, for whatever reason, and I know that I'm sometimes, you know, because I'm a divine love reader, I'm an alignment reader, right? So usually I read for people and I connect to collectives that really have the capacity to reach that fullest potential. This is why I push. This is why I say harsh truths. This is why the bar with me, and you would know this when you come on session, is right here, because there's a potential within every single person in my collective. But sometimes in life, as a soul, as we come here, right, we have a visual of what we want to learn, what we want to achieve, and we plan that highest, most aligned timeline for ourselves. And certain cases, certain lifetimes, certain souls, it's like you literally, before incarnating, you say to your guys, you're gonna freaking push me, because there's no other way. I'm getting to that timeline. You're gonna send me the teacher, you're gonna send me the healer, you're gonna send me the signs, you're gonna take away everything from me. You're not gonna give me options. You're gonna push me, because you better damn make sure that I'm gonna get there. But sometimes these kind of situations are irrelevant. This usually happens when we're already on, you know, a mature soul. We have a specific destiny to fulfill, or when we when we've been refusing for many lifetimes to learn lessons. But sometimes, for most people, there are always two timelines. In the moments like this, in the moment of decision, there's going to be lessons and growth and fulfillment for you, whichever road you take, right? And they might not be perfect life in a sense of the ego as you see it from your perspective, or from a perspective of a soul. Whichever situation you choose, your guides will be there with you, your guides will support you, your guides will help you to grow through it and to learn lesson through it. And there is some sort of a cycle closing right now. I'm a little bit confused. What should we do? I do want to tap into this person's energy, but there's a reason I grabbed this deck. I don't know whether this deck sort of fits our situation here, but we're gonna give it a try, and then we're gonna tap into this person's energy. And I'm also looking at this deck, to be honest. Sorry, there's confusion in your energy, so I'm sort of confused which way to go. Let's try to do a couple of these to confirm your situation. I'm hearing a couple of things. Okay. Not enough. So you would feel that this life is not enough. You would feel that this life is not a fulfillment, not a happy life. Your first card is a girl talk, time with friends, moving on. And the moment I saw this card, it was your first card, right? And I heard that, maybe you confide in a friend, maybe you ask advice to a friend, maybe you have a friend that knows your situation, knows what you're considering. And then I thought to myself that I'm going to tell you guys not to do that, and I'll tell you in a moment why. And then girl with a snake fell out. I'm a little bit on the fence whether this is the same person or two different people. So it can be both. It's a collective, right? But I'm hearing that there is someone that advises you, but they're not necessarily giving you a good advice. And I always explain this to you guys. Sometimes people don't have bad intentions, right? But to really get a good advice, right? This is why I always advise you guys in those difficult life situations to go to a spiritual teacher, right? To go someone who is, this is why we exist. People who, we do have an ego, we do have opinions. Whoever has a mind has an opinion. But the part of our job is to always be on top with our own shadows. I always say this to you guys, healers, it's not like we're perfect, but we're meant to courageously break ourselves down and rebuild ourselves constantly. Be on top of our shadows, be on top of our darkness, be familiar with our darkness, and be familiar with your darkness. Our job is to maintain our vessel clear. I'm not going to go into what it means right now. Exactly, to be able to hear advice from your guides, your destined advice, and remain unbiased, right? So whatever situation, again, this is what I'm hearing, but you would be a different collective. I would be telling you like to leave this person right away, right? So but I'm not using my personal opinion here. I'm not using my personal projections and shadows, because those are healed and those are at bay. That's why I am a spiritual teacher and I can advise you guys here, right? In the end, it is your decision, always and solely your decision. But this is a reason why you shouldn't be sometimes, asking for advice to people who are not really familiar with their own darkness, with their own shadows. They have their own, we all have a different perspective of life. We all have a different lessons, right? it's a very, I feel like someone is giving you advice that maybe would apply to them but not necessarily to you. That is an